The Galapagos Islands were formed one after the other as volcanoes erupted from cracks in the ocean floor, 600 miles from the coast of South America and exactly on the equator. After flying from the mainland to Baltra in the islands, it is a short transfer to the boat which serves as a floating hotel. The MV Ambassador was refurbished in Greece in 1993. 253 feet long with a speed of 17 knots, she has 55 cabins on 3 decks, but the capacity is restricted to just 86 passengers to conform to national park regulations. With a crew of over 50, plus trained guides and naturalists, everything is done to ensure a pleasant and informative journey. 15 large and several hundred smaller islands give a land area of many thousands of square miles. The cruise ship has the advantage of covering a lot of territory by night, thereby giving the maximum time for sightseeing. Taken onto the islands by small dinghies called pangas for twice daily excursions, the ship's guests are broken down into groups of around 14, each group given a name: albatross, booby, cormorant and dolphin, and this order rotates with every turn ashore. Tourism is strictly controlled to designated sites, and then only in the company of trained guides, in an effort to protect this paradise. Landings may be wet up to the ankle or dry onto a dock. Every island in the Galapagos is unique. Bartolome Island has a lunar landscape. Grey ash and dried lava craters give home to only the most basic plant life. Lava cactus and a few pioneer plants cling tenaciously to the barren slopes. Tiny lava lizards are all around, warming in the sun or doing push-ups to impress their neighbours. One neighbour they don't want to impress is the endemic Galapagos hawk.
Go on. Okay.
The centrepiece to this visit is the steep climb up Cerro Bartolome. Hundreds of steps have been provided to protect against erosion, but it is worth the effort for the spectacular view of one of the Galapagos' most photographed landmarks, Pinnacle Rock. Before returning to the ship, there is time for a swim. On the equator we may be, but the burning sun belies the cool sea, thanks to the Humboldt Current coming up from the southern oceans. Nowhere else on Earth would you swim while penguins dart like bullets around you. One of 2 of the world's only flightless seabirds, they are the most northerly of penguin species and found on several islands. After the first day's taste of what was to come, it is obvious why tens of thousands of visitors come to the islands. Even those who have no particular fascination for birds and animals cannot help being beguiled by these creatures, existing totally free and fearless of man. The early morning mist, known locally as the Garua, clears over Isabella Island. The largest of the Galapagos Islands, it still has volcanic activity, and there are 5 cones ranging from 4,000 to 5,500 feet. Tagus Cove was used as anchorage by early sailors who left their mark as graffiti on the rocks.
see, of course.
A 2-kilometre trail skirts a saltwater lagoon, which is formed by water filtering through the porous rock. The path then climbs up to reveal lava fields that stretch for miles. Vegetation is arid zone, characterised by thorny plants, cactus, brushwood, the ghostly looking Palos Santos, and even a cotton bush. Where else would birds practically come out to greet you? Life without predators has made them fearless and quite easy to spot. Of the 58 resident species, 28 are endemic. The finches of the Galapagos were vital to Darwin's theory of evolution. He observed 13 different species had evolved from a single group, divided mainly into 2 types, ground or tree dwelling, the main difference being the size and shape of their beaks. One of the least visited islands, Fernandina, is actively volcanic, the last eruption being in October 1998. At Punta Espinosa, a wet landing through the mangrove, saltbush and myrtle gives access to some impressive lava formations and a great concentration of marine iguana and sea lion. There are fewer land mammals than there are birds or reptiles. Sea lions, having followed sea currents to the islands, now make up some of the creatures most popular with visitors. Related to the Californian species, they have to be the most endearing creatures to watch. Young ones cute and playful, while the older ones snooze on the sand. Young males practice their bravado, while older males protect their territory jealously.
The heat is just cut the heat. Just run on, yeah.
It was Darwin who called the islands a paradise for reptiles. He found their dragon-like appearance horrifying. Of the two endemic iguanas, the marine iguana is the only lizard that regularly inhabits the sea. They are assumed to be relative of a land-going reptile, but have adapted to the ocean to feed on seaweed. However, they can only visit the sea briefly. They get chilled after half an hour or so, and are compelled to return to land to warm up in the sun and restore their energy. They have developed glands which accumulate excess salt, and every so often this is snorted out through the nose. Not an attractive sight. Usually black, the males change colour during mating to some surprising tones of orange, red and blue. Between 2 and 3 feet long, a chunky body topped with wiry crest, stocky legs with 5 toes ending in sharp claws. Horrifying, no. Fascinating, yes. Approach as close as you like, they will just sit and stare blankly back. The second of the two flightless seabirds is the flightless cormorant. Having no enemies to fear, it has no need to fly. It is still an excellent diver and can easily catch the fish it needs for food. The most commonly seen invertebrate is the bright yellow and orange Sally Lightfoot crab. The size of a tea plate, they can be found on almost every rock on the shoreline.
Be my guest.
Anchoring in Puerto Ygaz on Isla San Salvador's west coast, the landscape has changed again. The black basalt rock is coated in fine seaweed, the ideal diet for the marine iguana, which are here in their hundreds. Migratory seabirds also make the most of the craggy shoreline. The large Sally Lightfoot crabs may be out of their league, but there are plenty of little ones for easy pickings.
Oh, just try to get that crab.
With crystal pools formed under natural stone archways and blowholes called sea lion lifts spouting water into the air whenever waves hit, it is not surprising to find the Pacific green turtle chooses here as a favourite mating spot. A regular visitor to the islands, they are close to extinction due to diminishing nesting grounds and human hunters who prize their eggs and meat.
goes by.
The island of Rabida is immediately identifiable by its shoreline of dark red sand, which is due to its high iron oxide content. Sea lions lounging on the beach or lying under the salt bush for shade greet us with their usual indifference. A path into the interior of the island passes a marshy lake, home to a colony of greater flamingo. Often annoyed by the boisterous young sea lions, they sometimes leave to seek peace in nearby lagoons. Along the cliffs nests one of the most common birds, the blue-footed booby. They are an unforgettable sight, as their feet really are a bold, striking blue. Early sailors, amazed that the birds would not fly away when they approached to kill them, named them after the Spanish word for dunce. They have a comical courtship ritual. They dance, plodding around with blue feet working up and down, pushing their wings skywards and offering twigs as presents to each other. Nearby, brown pelicans nest in the bushes. A huge, cumbersome bird, they come here to breed or use the land as roosting places from which to launch their fishing expeditions. The heat is quite intense, so after working up a sweat, it is back to the beach for a swim. Under the waves, snorkelers are astounded by the number and variety of tropical fish, penguins hunting underwater, and the ever-present sea lions. Indolent and clumsy on land, amazingly energetic in the water, they may tease or ignore swimmers, but one took exception to our cameraman, giving a pretend charge before turning away.
David?
How are you?
Isla Floriana has a beach with a greenish tinge from tiny crystals of olivine in the sand. First settled by an Irishman in 1812, Floriana has a sad history of slavery and penal servitude. Of historical interest is Post Office Bay, where whalers used to leave mail in the late 18th century. Replaced several times, the box is still in use. It is custom to look through the mail and take anything addressed to your destination, putting a local stamp on it when you arrive and sending it on its way.
Kenya.
A short cruise during lunch brings us to Puerto Ayora on Santa Cruz. The wide bay is full of small boats, small hotels and restaurants. The most densely populated and second largest of the islands, with 3,400 people, it has the air of a relaxed and easygoing fishing village. It is here the Charles Darwin Research Station, created in 1964, and the Marine Research Reserve, founded in 1986, have their hands full trying to restore the Galapagos to the days before humans began to upset the delicate ecological balance. No doubt the most famous of the Galapagos reptiles is the giant tortoise. Countless thousands were killed during the 18th and 19th centuries after passing whalers found that the creatures could be stacked in the ship's holds without food or water for over a year and still be turned into fine soup. Now only an estimated 15,000 remain. Of 14 subspecies, 3 are now totally extinct, and one, who goes by the name of Lonesome George, is the only survivor of his subspecies. Saving these magnificent creatures has been a major task of the Darwin Station. A program of breeding and reintroducing the animals to their natural habitat seems to be successful. Baby tortoises are repatriated to their specific island when they weigh around 1.5 kilos, aged around 4 years. Some 2,000 have already been repatriated, but the tortoise population is still at risk. The protection program aims to overcome the negative effects of introduced animals, black rats, wild sheep and goats, dogs and cats. But the sad fact is that however hard they work, it is possible that the only way the islands and their unique inhabitants will be preserved is by ending tourist visits altogether.
What's your foot, Jen?
Hello. Smile for the camera.
You good? Give him a kiss, Grace.
Turn round, let's see if there's a family resemblance.